Welcome to our fifth stress diffusion skill, using the senses for stress release. Learning to release anxiety and stress through these very effective and simple techniques. We all feel anxious at one time or another. And by engaging in your five senses, you may help to calm all those feelings and worries. So here is a grounding skill that brings a sharp awareness of all your five senses. Your sense of seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling, and tasting. By focusing on all these five basic senses, we are able to ease symptoms of anxiety, depression, or pain. They help us become mindful. Wherever you are at the moment, focus on your senses one by one. Start with your sense of sight, what you can see. Narrow your sight on any small object in the room. If there's a flower, notice the vivid or pale color, the difference of shades it has, the petals, probably pollen, the different shades that the leaves have or the stem has. Now look at the sunrise or sunset or anything that you can spot around you. Or observe a pet as they play or move. The idea of doing this exercise is so that your senses can slow down. Because anxiety really means that your attention is on fast track. Anxiety means that your attention is on steroids. Now let's move to another sense. Address your sense of touch. Do you know how little we are aware of touching something? As a society, touching someone has so many connotations. We have barely ever been touched. Actually, we have only most of the time been touched for sex or for punishment. Think about it. How often do we touch for love? Love, friendship, touching someone for concern, compassion, or empathy. So I suggest, in times of stress, notice how your clothing feels on your body. Also touch your body parts for just loving yourself. Notice texture, smoothness, or roughness. All this is very effective in getting our attention focused. Now let's consider hearing. Notice the songs of birds singing, the wind blowing, a clock ticking. Music, of course, always works. I mean, actually listening to music. Not just letting a song run in the background. Listen to the music. Stop yourself. Focus on the song. Now your sense of smell. Light a scented candle, for instance. Just the act of inhaling a pleasant smell. Or walk outside and breathe deeply. Smell the freshness of grass. Or when it rains, the pleasant smell of wet earth. Do you know that smell is the fastest connection to memory? We may forget much in our memory, but we hardly ever forget how something smells. Not just food, but how a person smells, or a new car, or a distasteful odor. And it's the fastest connection to your sexuality too. And last but not least, our taste. The most addictive of our senses. Sugar, for instance, is our biggest and most common sense that we can identify with. Whether it's a piece of food, a gum, a chocolate, a mint, or coffee, it seems to suck us in, and we just have to have it. Or something that's bitter, it's repugnant, but it's powerful because even if something is good for us, We can't seem to be able to let go of a past memory of how distasteful it is. So you can begin with noticing your mood before and after using one of these senses. You might want to use a scale from 0 to 10, say, and rate your symptoms. Notice relief that calms you after you do one of these exercises. It helps to reduce even the judgment, like when you see a color you don't like, instead of saying, I don't like brown, instead say, this wall is brown. Focus on the present. If your thoughts wander, simply bring them back to the present. Our senses are very powerful. So let's learn to help ourselves and be happier and healthier just by using these 5 simple basic senses. Good luck and goodbye for now.
That was this week's episode for the Cellular Alchemist podcast with spiritual psychologist Ritu Malhotra. Don't forget to follow the podcast on your listening app so that when the new episode drops, you do not miss out on the chance to change your life by changing your beliefs.